Ahora me pongo la pantalla.
Just a one secret already. One is down. One is my bed on my right. That one is back on the future. Just a one secret already. One is down. One is my bed on my right. That one is back on the future. Like a one secret already. One is down.
Ahora es lo que pasa.